Hello everyone. In previous class, we discussed about the combination of capacitors in series and in parallel combination. Now we will start the next topic, that is energy stored in a capacitor. So our next topic will be as we know that capacitor is a charge storing device. It can store the charge and at the same time we can say it can store the energy. Now we'll find the amount of energy stored by any capacitor. Okay, suppose we have a capacitor which is connected by battery of potential V. Initially, these two plates, let it is A and B, plate A and plate B. Initially, it is neutral, means no charge appears at either at plate A or plate B. First, we will provide a small charge Q to this capacitor. So, suppose 1 unit of positive charge will appear at this point. So, initially there will be no repulsive force applied by this plate to this charge. But next, when we provide the next charge, it will repel this charge. Okay, so that's why we have to do some extra work to move this charge plus Q charge to this plate. Okay, let a small charge dq is placed or moved to this plate A. Clear? The same amount of negative charge will appear over here. We will discuss it later on. So, on moving this charge charge Q, the small amount of potential will develop on this plate A. So, to moving this charge Q towards this plate, we have to do the small work done, that is dW, and we know that dV is the potential developed on this plate. So, we know that dV is equals to, we know that what is potential, that is work done to bring a unit positive charge from infinity to that point. So, this work done will become V into Q, or dW is equals to Q into dV. Clear? This is question number 1. So, where Q is the small amount of charge moved to this plate A, dW is the small amount of work done to move this positive charge toward this plate, because this will be reflected by the amount of positive charge which appears previously on this plate. Clear? Next is dWq into dV. Okay, and dV is the small amount of potential developed on this plate. Okay, now if we want to find out the total work done to move the total charge Q on this plate. So in that case, what we'll do, we'll simply integrate it from 0 to W, and it is from 0 potential to the maximum potential V. So after integrating, this becomes W, 0 to W, which is equals to, here now we know that this Q is equals to C into V. So if we put this value over here, it becomes CV into dV. And we know that this capacitance is constant. So we'll move, because Q is directly proportional to V, or Q is equals to C into V. So C is constant. So we'll take C outside the integration, and 0 to V, V into dV. Okay, after solving it, what we have now? V, that is V square by 2, 0 to V. Integration of x is x square by 2, x to the power n plus 1 upon n plus 1. Clear? So if we'll solve it, what we have now? C by 2, V square 0 to V, and C by 2, V square minus 0, or half CV square. And here what we have now? W minus 0 is equals to W, and this work done will store in the form of energy or potential energy of the capacitor. So U is equals to half CB square. Now we can change it. This is the first formula. Okay. Now if we want to put here, in place of CB, we can put Q. That means this U is equals to, it can also be written as half CV into V. Clear? So if we'll multiply, we'll get the CV square. So half, in place of CB, now we can put Q, QV. So this is the second formula to find out the total energy in a capacitor. Next, third formula will be CB. So in place of V, now we can put Q by C. In place of V, we can put Q by C. So this U is equals to half C. In place of V, put Q square upon C square, because here it is V square. So 1 will be cancel out. Now what we have? U is equals to half Q square by C. This is the third formula to find out the total energy stored in a capacitor. Clear? Next is common potential. Next topic is common potential. So suppose we have two capacitors. Initially, let it is connected with supply or battery V1, and this part is connected to the ground. Okay, and we have another capacitor C2, which is connected with supply V2 or battery V2, and this part is connected to the ground. Okay, this is the initial phase. Next, what we used to do, we'll simply disconnect the battery and connected these two capacitor together. So in that case, that it is C1 and C2, and these two are connected together. Now let it potential is V, which is common potential for both the capacitors. Okay. Now let we have capacitors of capacitance C1 and C2 respectively. Connected with batteries V1 and V2. Okay. After charging, we disconnect it from supply and connected together. Let the common potential be V. Clear? Now we'll find the common potential for. So here total, let the total charge is Q1 and Q2. Okay. So in that case, the total potential here, the total potential will be V is equals to Q is equals to C into V, or V is equals to Q by C. Okay. So Q1 by C1. Okay. And here in that case, V2 will be Q2 by C2. Okay. Now if we'll connect these two, what will happen? Now similarly, if you want to find the total charge over here, that Q1 is equals to V1 and into C1, and total charge Q2 is equals to V2 into C2. Now if we want to find the total capacitance or net potential or common potential, so this common potential is equals to total charge. We know that potential is equals to charge upon capacitance. So total charge upon total capacitance. So total charge will be equals to Q1 plus Q2 upon total capacitance will be C1 plus C2. Now putting values for Q1 and Q2, it becomes C1 V1 plus C2 V2 upon C1 plus C2. So common potential V is equals to C1 V1 plus C2 V2 upon C1 plus C2. So this is the value for common potential. Okay. And if we have multiple capacitor like C3, C4, so here it becomes C3 V3 upon plus C1 plus C2 plus C3, nothing else. Okay. So here is some special cases. Next is a special case. If second capacitor is uncharged. Okay, if second capacitor is uncharged, that means no charge is supplied to that capacitor, means it wants to say this is disconnected, means the value of V2 will be equals to 0, or you can say value of Q2 is equals to 0. Okay, if Q2 is equals to 0, so directly we can find out the total value of capacitance, that is V is equals to C1 V1 plus C2 into 0, because the value of V2 is 0 upon C1 plus C2. Here value of C2 will not become 0. Suppose we have some initial capacitance, let C2 has some initial capacitance, in that case C2 won't become 0. So in that case V is equals to C1 V1 upon C2 plus C1 plus C2. So this is the value for potential when one capacitor is uncharged and one is charged having potential V1. Clear? So this is the common potential. That's it for today. In next class, we will discuss the loss in energy in a capacitor. Thank you.